Seeing the World Through Teal-Colored Glasses by Haley George, IRG, Silver Award Project, Girl Scout Council of Colonial Coast. Take a look. Which one of these ladies have food allergies? My little sister Cameron is the one of the 13 people that have food allergies. She is allergic to peanuts, tree nuts, pineapple, and melon. That little guessing game was an example of the statistic of 1 in 13 children have food allergies. That may be a lot for children, but in the U.S., there are 15 million people that have food allergies. 2 kids in every kindergarten class have a food allergy. The rate has nearly doubled since 2012. A food allergy is an immune system reaction that occurs after eating a certain food. It is an abnormal response in which the body produces an antibody called immunoglobulin E, or IgE, and attacks you. If you have a food allergy or suspect one, then it is very important that you see your physician. What is a food intolerance? Sometimes a food allergy isn't really an allergy, it's a food intolerance. A food intolerance is when someone has a hard time digesting a specific food. This can lead to gas, abdominal pain, or diarrhea. These problems begin in the digestive system. What is the difference between food allergy and food intolerance? A food allergy is different from an intolerance because an allergy may be fatal when digested, while an intolerance only creates slightly painful but serious issues. The chart above explains in detail. 90% of food allergy reactions come from these following 8 foods: eggs, milk, soy, peanuts, tree nuts such as almonds, cashews, pecans, and pistachios, wheat, fish such as tuna, salmon, and codfish, and the last of the 8 is shellfish, which includes clams, mussels, and shrimp. These are known as the top 8 or the big 8. What does a reaction look like? The common reactions are swollen eye, hives, red eye, and rashes. Although someone may have a reaction to one food over again, they may have a different one. Everybody has a different reaction, and once you've seen one, you've seen one reaction. Signs and symptoms of anaphylaxis. The above slide shows signs of anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis is an extreme and severe allergic reaction. The whole body can be affected, often within minutes of exposure to the substance in which causes the reaction. These are just some of the symptoms. The other ones are swelling beneath the skin, otherwise known as angioedema, and itchy face or eyes. If not treated right, it can cause death. At this time, there is no cure for food allergies. The number one way to avoid an allergic reaction is to stay away from your allergen. Some allergists will prescribe a drug like Benadryl. However, Benadryl does not stop anaphylaxis. The only way to stop anaphylaxis is with the use of an epinephrine autoinjector.
How to use an epinephrine autoinjector. If you or a loved one has had a severe allergic reaction in the past, your physician may ask you to carry an epinephrine autoinjector, such as an EpiPen. Before you end up in an emergency situation, you'll need to know how it works. You will need symptoms, an epinephrine autoinjector device, and medical attention. Epinephrine autoinjectors are for use in emergency situations and should be administered according to the prescription. Step 1. Look for signs that the victim is suffering from anaphylaxis, such as difficulty breathing. You may also notice hives, swelling, watery eyes, dizziness, and other symptoms of distress. Step 2. Read the instructions on the side of the pen before administering the medication. Step 3. Remove the cap from the injector pen. It is generally not necessary to remove clothing to use the injector. However, if the clothing is especially thick or layered, you may need to remove it before administering the injection. Step 4. Hold the tip of the pen against the middle of the thigh and press into it with medium pressure for a few seconds. The injector will activate to administer the medicine automatically. After using the pen, briefly massage the injection site with your fingertips to aid in circulating the medicine. Step 5. Keep the patient relaxed and warm and immediately seek further medical attention by calling 911 or going to an emergency room. Step 6. Dispose of the used pen properly by replacing the cap and wrapping the container in plastic before discarding to prevent further needle sticks. Did you know? The leading cause of anaphylaxis that occurs outside of hospitals is food allergies, which account for 100 to 200 deaths in the U.S. each year.
The 2 main epinephrine autoinjectors are Auvi-Q and EpiPen or EpiPen Jr. You must know which one your scout has. When an allergic reaction occurs, it won't hurt your scout to Epi, but it can kill if you delay epinephrine. You must inject into the hard outer thigh, and you do not have to remove clothing to do so. Remember, you must call 911 after administering epinephrine. Having food allergies often make you feel like you do not belong. So to make your girls feel included, here are a few steps. You've already taken the first step by watching this presentation. Second, make sure the other girls in your troop are aware of the food allergens. And most important, talk to their mom and dad. They've done this longer than you and will be willing to help make adjustments. Reading labels for food allergens. The Food Allergen Label and Consumer Protection Act is an amendment to the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act and requires that the label of a food that contains an ingredient or contains protein from a major food allergen declare the presence of the allergen in the manner described by the law. The allergen can be written in any of the three places: within the ingredients list, under contains, or listed with the manufactured on. It doesn't have to be listed in all three places, so please read ingredients carefully. Proteins that have been broken down or hydrolyzed must be listed because it can still cause a reaction. May contained is not required or governed by label laws. Above are some other things that you should be aware of when reading food labels. Keep in mind, this law only applies to the top 8. If your scout is allergic to other items, please seek their parents' advice on safe foods. Camping is a fun Girl Scout activity. Here are some tips to keep your Scout safe. Number 1. When planning your menu, try not to have any of your Scouts' allergens present. Number 2. Always send the menu to your Scouts' parents so they can review it and help plan alternatives for their girl. Example: if all other Scouts are eating trail mix, even without nuts, it can be risky due to cross-contamination. Your Scout will also want trail mix. Her parents can help find a safe trail mix for her to eat. Number 3. Before leaving on camping trip, make sure you have current copy of her health history form and 2 current epinephrine auto-injectors. Number 4. When it is time to cook her food, if allergens are present, such as having eggs for breakfast, have her food cooked first. And when it is time to wash dishes, her dishes should be washed first as well to avoid cross-contamination. Number 5. Remember, hand sanitizer doesn't remove food proteins. Hand must be washed long enough to sing a verse of Make New Friends or use baby wipes when in a bind. Parties. Like with camping, try to avoid allergens. Number 1. Like with camping, try to avoid allergens. Number 2. Download the most current copy of the Allergy Safe Snack Guide to help with planning. Number 3. Include parents of your Scout with allergies in menu or snack planning to make sure allergens are avoided or substitutes can be made. Trips. With local trips, food can be brought along with your Scout. When planning an overnight or out-of-the-country trip, it takes a bit more preparation. If you are using a tour guide or trip planner, make sure they are aware of your dietary restrictions as early as possible in the planning process. If you are traveling overseas, a language card can be purchased. This card can be handed to a waiter or manager, and it will help explain what food should be avoided in whatever language is spoken in that country. Disney has recently introduced new allergy-friendly menus at approximately 120 food service locations within their many resorts, making it one of the most allergy-friendly places on Earth. Make note, when traveling to your final destination, you can download an app called Allergy Eats. With this app, you can plug in your location and what food you are avoiding. It will give you the location of the nearest safest place for you to eat. Here is a list of products that my family has tried at home.